thrown aside, then people put sand, and then people put garbage, and it just looks, and then I see tourists walking, and I cringe. Because it's like, look at what they're going to have to, what are they going to think about us?
Yeah,
you know
and I think it goes back to also quality of life and reputation, because we are a premier tourism destination. We actually have, for at least in terms of the GDP, one of the best quality of lives in the Caribbean. And in other islands, this is the kind of thing you see in the countryside.
Yes.
You don't find it smack in the middle
city.
of town, that the roads and the garbage and everything. So along with the Minister of TEAT, we are actually looking at a comprehensive overhaul, firstly of Phillipsburg, because that's part of our bread and butter.
Yep,
it's the bread and butter. And then extending it outwards. So even too in terms of how we started as a project to resurface the roads, that was something that was tendered for resurfacing only. I would have liked to see also a project for drainage, but that wasn't part of the initial scope. So that's something that's going to come up soon. But resurfacing the roads, the lines in the roads, that's very important. It's a small thing people don't realize. Markings on the roads, and I think too, we're looking at also how we address the issue of the bricks, the pavers in Front Street. One, because I know also there's several people who walk in Front Street and Back Street, locals, and they themselves trip. So, you know, coming to town as a child was something you really looked forward to.
Thank you.
People now, and I'm 35, so I can imagine anybody who's older can imagine even an even nicer town before. Coming to town now has become an issue because of the quality of the road, the parking situation. So even all of that's something we haven't addressed. We're having lots of meetings about that. So for us, it's a comprehensive approach to garbage, the road quality, but also to parking. Because that also impacts the quality of the experience to come town. People don't come town anymore. My mother is one, because she's like, you know what, you work in town, just do it for me. And you need to re-energize the area.
It's not a joy to come into town anymore.
And beautification is one of them, but structural beautification. I think just putting up a tree or a lamp post is one thing, but what we don't do well in government is we don't maintain.
Right. That's
maintain.
That is where the question would come up. Because when you talk about the pavers, I say I prefer the pavers because it looks quaint.
Yes.
But with GEPE having leaks all the time, you can easily find the leak because of the pavers.
Yes.
If it was
asphalt, concrete,
you won't be able to see.
You have to dig up the whole entire thing.
Exactly. So I prefer that. But we also know that in the Netherlands, there are pavers in the Netherlands, but there's a crew out there that's their job to fix constantly fixing them.
Because
why can't we get that?
Because one of the things that exists now is that a lot of the maintenance of our infrastructure is done ad hocly. So when I came in, for example, the trenches and the waterways were not regularly cleaned for 3 years. It became a question of ad hoc. So someone from the ministry has to say, the tree is looking kind of high around the gut, let me go clean them today. Is the company available? Maybe next week. And then something else happens. So then you have structural cleaning now. So even just this week, they were cleaning again all the drains and trenches again, because it's just maintained constantly. You don't wait until something collapses and breaks down to fix it. One, it looks ugly, and two, it costs more money. So for me, one of the things I want to do, actually, we spoke about it a lot, is the road fund. To actually generate funds to constantly maintain the road, but also to have a management agreement with somebody that just gets a contract and say, listen, every month you're getting X amount of money. Make sure that potholes are not there. Make sure the lines are drawn, because those things really make an impression on people. People came to me when they cleaned the pond field. They were like, you know, the sense of something happening and the beauty of, you know, just looking like a nice landscape. And it's a small thing. You know, being in government is not about oftentimes big projects. It's about touching people in very small ways that you feel like, you know, something is happening, something small, but that makes my life a little bit easier.
Minister, you've been in your seat right now for a few months.
Feels like a year.
I know. When we talk about road maintenance, and when we talk about, besides the pavers, but we're talking about the potholes that are filled. When the king was coming, I remember making the joke, he should come every year, because then we'll get a facelift every year. Because nothing seems to be done until the king or queen is coming. But when we talk about that, you resurface the roads, and then a good shower of rain comes, and the holes are back there again. I always said, why can't, or is it possible, you would know, to have a better quality of asphalt. You know, someone told me quite recently that it's because you don't do the entire strip, that you stop and then the water gets underneath and that's what lifts the asphalt. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I won't know about that. But I know the asphalt is expensive, and I know that a company that is going to do the job is probably charging an arm and a leg. But isn't it better to do a better quality so that it will last longer, or keep patching, and then I think it's going to cost twice as much? Mm-hmm. I don't know. You tell me.
No, and I think for me, patching is always one of the last solutions I look for. Indeed, government gets what government pays for. Mm-hmm. And in the contracts the tender that went out, mm-hmm. it really focused only on resurfacing. I've said time and time again that you can do quite a large chunk of road, but it's a question as well about drainage. If you don't have proper drainage, you can have the best quality of road, mm-hmm. but it will eventually be damaged, but longer. Okay. So one of the attempts I made was that in all the roads we did, because drainage was not part of this project. Mm-hmm. It was a project that was tendered some time ago with the hard service thing and then implemented when I came in. So we couldn't change the terms of reference because that would have changed the whole entire price. Yeah. So I said, okay, well, what do we have? We were resurfacing, but can we improve the drainage in some areas that we have or haven't to basically put in? I think that's what we're currently doing. But for me, it's that it goes back to the question of you pay for what you get. So really a dedicated road fund where the funds are there. You don't have to sort of, nickel and dime yourself through, but really have the money to maintain and also drainage. Because we also increased the asphalt thickness. That's not necessarily going to be the end-all solution, but the asphalt thickness does help to improve. So I think, I said, it's not that the asphalt going thicker because I said so it's going to make it a better road, but it's a combination of increased thickness, drainage, and also regular maintenance has to be done. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves every single time patching, potholing, exactly. And right now we're at a point where every single road in St. Martin has 5+ potholes. Yeah.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social health insurances.
St. Martin, here's some exciting news from the Division Study Financing. The application period for the 2025 study financing will open January 1st to February 15th, 2025. You can apply for financing to pursue tertiary education, whether here at home or abroad. Are you a talented athlete or creative artist? We've got study financing options just for you. Plus, if you're aiming for a CAPE, IB, or NEPA SBO diploma, we have study allowances available as well. So, for all the details, visit our website at studyfinancing.sx. That's studyfinancing.sx. And don't miss our public information sessions on December 12th and January 16th at the Government Administration Building, starting at 7 p.m. So, take the first step towards your future with study financing. With it, your dreams can become a reality.
Road tax. We will continue using the current license plates and QR code sticker systems for vehicles. However, efforts are underway to enhance the online payment system for vehicle tax. Previously, delays in receipt issuance and limited payment options were common issues. For 2025, we aim to streamline this process, making it more efficient and convenient. Vehicle tax payments will commence in January 2025, with fees remaining unchanged from 2024. However, for 2026, we plan to adjust fees based on factors such as vehicle weight and personalized license plates. In collaboration with my colleague, Minister of Justice, we will establish measures to ensure compliance, including scheduling controls to verify road tax payments for 2025. Savings plan for civil servants. I am pleased to announce the introduction of a new monthly savings plan for civil servants starting in January 2025. This initiative came from feedback received during a Finance Friday session where civil servants expressed their desire to reinstate a similar plan that existed in the past. This plan allows civil servants to save a portion of their net monthly salary. They will have 3 saving options to choose from, which will be paid out at the end of the year. This initiative reflects the ministry's commitment to addressing the needs of our civil servants and promoting financial security. I encourage everyone to explore this opportunity through their payroll representatives. Allow me to thank those who proposed this initiative, and I welcome any other suggestions which may be taken into consideration. Minimum payment vendors. I understand that despite the statement issued by the Bankers Association, some vendors are still requiring minimum payments or adding fees to card transactions. I will be meeting with the Bankers Association to discuss the steps they have taken to address this issue, as it is a breach of the vendor's contract with the banks. If you experience this, I urge you to report it to the St. Martin Bankers Association at gmail.com, in addition to posting it on social media. This will ensure appropriate action is taken. Subsidized school teachers. I received a letter regarding subsidized schools not having received their 1 or 2% indexation. I truly sympathize with them, as this is long overdue. The amount was included in the budget amendment and should have been paid once the amendment was approved. From the Ministry of Finance, we encourage the Ministry of Education to prepare in advance to expedite the process. I receive daily requests about payments, but the Finance Department can only execute payments after the relevant ministry completes the required advice and obtains the necessary approvals, which sometimes include signatures from the head of the department, the controller, the secretary general, the minister, and occasionally the governor. I am pleased to report that the 1% owed to the subsidized schools was paid yesterday, and I encourage the schools to distribute this to teachers promptly. The 2% indexation advice has been finalized by the Ministry of Education and should be signed by the Minister of Education and myself as Minister of Finance this week, so that payments can be made hopefully by the end of next week. Revenue increase. Increased revenue for the country remains a top priority. I will continue to emphasize that we cannot sustain the country's finances solely on the backs of the people of St. Martin. I had hoped to receive the advice from the SED on the proposed tourist entry tax before the end of this year. However, I have been informed that the advice will now be forthcoming in February 2025. I want to reassure the public that I will keep everyone informed about the developments regarding the tourist entry tax, which is expected to become a key source of revenue for St. Martin. Once this tax is implemented, it will allow us to incorporate much-needed tax relief measures, such as adjustments to wage and profit taxes. providing relief for our people while ensuring the country remains financially sustainable.
SXM, your social and health insurance is SXM, your social and health insurance is.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah, your social and health insurance is.
It is with regret that the Bermuda Police Service can now confirm the death of Mr. Kyrie Furbit, who is a father of an 11-year-old daughter, and he was a male in his 34th year of life. We, the Bermuda Police Service, wish to extend our heartfelt condolences to his family and his friends during this tragic time. So at about 12:42 a.m. this morning, Monday the 16th of December, 2024, the Bermuda Police Service received a 911 call from a member of the public who reported seeing a male lying on the road at number 5 Tribe Road in Paget, Ord Road. This male was seen lying next to a vehicle. Police and medical personnel responded to the report, where they found Mr. Furbit unresponsive. Life-saving efforts were introduced, and he was eventually taken to the hospital by the ambulance. However, Kyrie was found to have succumbed to a fatal gunshot wound. The scene was processed by our police forensic team, and we had crime scene investigators attend from the Serious Crime Unit. And they are presently and still being engaged in house-to-house inquiries, as well as conducting CCTV inquiries to progress this investigation. Just be assured that the next of kin has been informed, and they are very much aware of circumstances, and a family liaison officer has been appointed to guide them and support them through this tragic moment.
4 people have been arrested in a major fraud scheme targeting Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited. According to MOCA's Director of Communications, Major Basil Jarrett, the operations were conducted at the homes of the suspects during a joint police-military operation early this morning. He says charges will be laid soon.
MOCA arrested 4 individuals in connection with an ongoing investigation into a fraud scheme involving Sagicor Group Jamaica Limited. Between 2016 and 2019, contractors, allegedly in collusion with company employees, submitted a number of forged documents to claim payments for work that was never done. This is a serious breach of trust, and MOCA remains committed to holding those responsible accountable. We are urging all businesses to stay vigilant and to report any suspicious activities, as fraud undermines not just companies but our economy as a whole.
In the meantime, Sagicor Group Jamaica says it continues to cooperate with the authorities investigating the fraud case. In a release, the company says upon identifying irregularities in 2019, immediate steps were taken to report the matter and safeguard against future breaches. Sagicor is also commending the efforts of the law enforcement authorities in conducting what it says is a thorough investigation. 10 persons were arrested following a joint police-military operation in Trelawney. The police say the individuals will be interviewed in the presence of their attorneys as part of the ongoing investigation. A joint operation involving members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defence Force went into several areas deemed crime hotspots in the parish of Trelawney. The initiative, dubbed Operation Reassured, has so far resulted in the arrest of several individuals.
We have actually been out and about right across the length and breadth of the division. We have been into Racecourse, we have been into Lime Tree, we have been into Spicy Hill, we have been into Clarkstown, Kinloss, Duansville. So far we have made a few arrests, mainly arrests of persons for breaches of the law reform.
Head of Police Superintendent Winston Milton says they are also following leads into the discovery of a headless corpse in the Wire Fence district last week.
Some were arrested in relation to a murder which occurred in the South Trelawney space earlier this week, which we are aggressively pursuing investigation on. We have a tentative identification of the body of that we had found in South Trelawney, but at this point I will not disclose that name, pending further investigation and confirmation of our suspicion.
During the operation, the lawmen also seized instruments and lead sheets.
We intend to continue this operation. As a matter of fact, I can reassure our citizens that they will see an increased presence of police in public spaces across Trelawney as we continue our effort to ensure that the Yuletide season remain a safe one for our citizenry in this parish and those who traverse this space in order to conduct business.
Meanwhile, the lawmen say they will also be enforcing the road code in a bid to curb road fatalities.
As it stands now, we are in a roadblock format, and that is designed to do a number of things. Specifically in relation to the question that you have asked, it is designed to slow down motorists who are speeding along this leg of the highway. This is not just the only section of the highway we'll be doing it. We'll be using strategic areas designed to slow the vehicles, areas that are designated also as black spot. So far we have done a number of this, and we have seen some reduction as it relates to collisions.
A 40-year-old farmer, Damon Livingstone, was fatally shot in Mount Edgecombe Runaway Bay, St. Anne on Sunday. According to reports, residents discovered the body around 8 a.m. after hearing loud explosions. He was found along a road with multiple bullet wounds. This now brings to 50 the number of murders recorded in the parish since the start of the year.